100 to 200 grand less than the surrounding areas. If you're looking for something that is just this, then today you're going to be in for a treat.
We're talking about an area that no one else is talking about, and there's good reason. For the past 2 or 3 years, there's been very limited inventory in this area, and that is starting to loosen up, which gives our buyers an opportunity to take a second look at this gem of a location.
Whether you're a buyer, a seller, or an investor, this is something that you're going to be really wanting to pay attention to.
The great schools, the amenities that are just finally showing up in this area, and the proximity to surrounding counties and commuter routes are all contributing to a reason why people are taking a second look at none other than
Westminster, Maryland.
Westminster, Maryland is the gem of Carroll County for so many reasons, and many people are calling it the next Ellicott City. It has a main street with adorable shops and restaurants, and it has housing that is so much more affordable than its counterparts in both Frederick and Baltimore counties. It's nestled right in between the two, and people are driving there for good reason. They're getting highly rated schools, and they're getting a little more house for their money with a little bit more room to spread out. Let's dive into it.
Hit that notification bell, subscribe below so you can stay current on everything we have going on here in Westminster and the entire Baltimore metro area. The purpose of the video today is to give you some actionable advice and some real stats as to why Westminster is actually being considered the new Ellicott City of all things. And we know how popular Ellicott City is.
The median house price in Westminster is $425,000, which is up about 12% this year over last. So sellers are happy with what they're seeing when they are selling their homes, but it's still about 100 grand less than its counterparts in Howard and Montgomery County and Baltimore County. So you're getting a lot more house for your money here in Carroll County, and this is really truly the heart of Carroll County in Westminster.
This is gonna be hard to believe, but inventory is up 90% comparatively to this time last year. 90%, that's a huge number. About 450 homes as of today are for sale. That's a dramatic increase comparatively if you were watching our videos this time last year.
Listings there are still going under contract in the first 8 to 10 days, which I think is great. It tells you that if you are a seller there, even though inventory is up 90%, there is huge buyer demand. That's what those stats tell us. There's more inventory than ever, and yet houses are still going under contract in the first 10 days. That tells us that buyers are going here for a reason.
And with that demand, it's not just for home buyers, it's also for renters. So rent has been increasing here too as well. It's up around the average of $1,750 per month. Kelly's had some rental properties in Carroll County. She knows all about this. It's a pretty hot spot for anybody looking to just get into the area.
It is a great area to look in if you are starting or new to investments. It's a very easy county to be a landlord in, and the clientele there lends itself to people who sometimes like a long-term lease, and there's other advantages of being a landlord in Carroll County versus some other areas that are maybe more top of mind to you, like Baltimore City or Towson. This is a really nice alternative.
It comes down to a lot of things, and the overarching thing is that it's a lot cheaper, right? Property taxes are a lot cheaper, properties are cheaper comparatively to the surrounding counties. So if your dollar's going a lot farther, you're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck.
If education is important to you and you don't necessarily put an emphasis on private school, but because of certain areas you would be looking at private school, this is another cost savings that you could potentially explore in Carroll County, where most of the schools and the high schools are 9s and 10s out of 10s as ranked by greaterschools.org and other ranking systems. So definitely something to look into if you like public school and you want one that has a high rating. That's another cost savings potentially of avoiding that private school tuition. We're always looking at trends, you know, where are people headed, where are people going? And we think there's a really interesting relationship between what we saw in Ellicott City and what we're now seeing in Westminster.
There's just so much to do and so much available in Westminster. You have townhomes, you have condos, you have your traditional developments where you have your cul-de-sac and so forth, and then you also have your farms and huge ranches. So you basically have everything here in Carroll County, and something just about for everybody.
So a lot of the buyers that we're seeing in Westminster are people who originally started that search in Howard County, typically in the Ellicott City area. Median home prices in that Ellicott City area, if you've been looking there, you know, a low 700s. Median home prices in Westminster proper, $425. So what are you getting in that price for your home that you're not getting in Ellicott City? Let's look into it. Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description at the top pinned comment. Hope this helps. So if you've noticed, and you've been somebody that's been looking in Howard County or Ellicott City, and you notice that when you look for your traditional 4-bed, 2.5 bath, tends to be pretty small or even very hard to come by. In Westminster, it's the total opposite. It's much more affordable. You have a lot more of them, actually getting a lot more land.
This also offers a nice flexibility for commuters, particularly families who have one person going to Frederick or the DC suburbs and another person going to Baltimore, Towson, Timonium, or Hunt Valley. This kind of puts you in the middle of both of those areas. Now, while it is not the most convenient commuter route to either area, it does put you equidistant to both. So the question becomes, would you trade a little bit longer of a commute for a much bigger house and a different lifestyle? And that's something only you can answer, but something that a lot of people are saying, yes, with my hybrid work schedule, this actually makes a lot of sense for myself and my family. A lot of the inventory we're seeing come on the market in Westminster specifically are downsizers. So these are people who are finally deciding, hey, it's time for me to downsize. These houses are big, the properties are large, there's a lot to maintain. So what is happening? Well, the demand that's coming from Howard and Baltimore counties is pushing into Westminster to purchase these homes. And it quickly becomes two sides of the coin. The sellers that are getting the most amount of money are sellers who have kept up with their homes and done those cosmetic and updates that they need to do before going on the market. The buyers that are coming here are very discerning. They're used to seeing very sleek inventory and very updated properties in the Ellicott City and Baltimore County. So when they come in, they want to see updated kitchens, they want to see updated baths, they want to see a very nice showing. They don't want to see something that looks like, no offense, grandma's house. So make sure that you're prepping the house ahead of time. If you are thinking about moving or downsizing and you live in Westminster in the next 3 years, start that process now. And it's never too early to talk to us about what trends we're seeing and what buyers want so that you can present the best listing for them to really compete and get the most amount of money when you're ready to sell it.
And if this is you, be sure to comment concierge in the comments so we can reach out to you and provide you our free concierge checklist so that your house can be ready for the market.
And honestly, we'll do that heavy lifting for you. We'll tell you what needs to be done. You might be doing too much or you might be doing too little. We kind of know the sweet spot of what buyers are looking for. And quite honestly, our buyers are happy to pay a premium for a house that they can just move into. So it's a win-win for everyone.
And if you think we're just saying all these things, and actually the data is backing us up. A home that is actually prepped, done up a bit, as we've spoken about, is selling in just under 8 days. But then on the flip side, homes that are not ready, very outdated, need a lot of work, are sitting longer than 35 days. That's a dramatic difference and a lot of anxiety in that time period if you're a seller.
And if you're a buyer, think about it. Put yourself in those shoes. If you bought a house recently or you've moved or you have friends who have, it's overwhelming to think about moving to this new house and then having to put carpet in or do painting or do a major renovation, because how are you supposed to live there and do the update? So it puts people in a category where, as much as they love your location and layout, they physically and mentally are not able to overcome that obstacle. Maybe they have to move in a certain time frame and it has to be ready. Once you put furniture on the floor, it's really hard to replace the carpet. So we want to proactively think about what buyers are going to be caring about when they move to your house. This does not mean a full home reno. This means, what do we need to do so that it's what we consider move-in ready? And we can coach you on exactly what that looks like. And again, if you are a buyer watching this, I think you're probably nodding and realizing the houses that you're liking and saving and sharing are the houses that already have that after effect, unless of course you're an investor.
Or you are just a built-in carpenter and you've hit your wife or your significant other has hit the jackpot and you do all the work yourself.
You're hired.
So when we talk about getting your home ready, we're probably talking about roughly like 10 grand worth of upgrades and or fixes. And that's really going to net you about 40 to 50 grand on the back end. But what does that actually really mean? What does that actually entail?
So first of all, we're going to front those costs on your behalf, and we're going to help you project manage those small cosmetic updates. And we truly do mean small cosmetic updates. 10,000 is definitely a ballpark. It's going to depend on how big your house is and what price point we're targeting. But we find that if you do these 5 things, you're really going to maximize your impact. That would be fresh paint, fresh flooring, landscaping, small cosmetic updates, and staging. If we can do those 5 things, we're going to present a really nice package showing for you. We're going to manage that on your behalf, and you're going to pay that back out of the equity at the time of closing. So no upfront cost, no management. We're going to do that on your behalf. And the reason why is because we want our homes and our listings to sell quickly so that you're happy, you refer us to your friends and family, and so that our buyers are happy having more inventory that they can choose from. So again, we're always looking for that win-win and making sure that everybody's getting what they need out of a transaction. This is one way that we can help you do that.
And with that, we're doing all the work. You've put the time in, you've put in the trust to us to get it done, and now everything's ready, but that's only half the battle. You actually have to present it to the market in the right way and in the way that is most particular to the buyers that would be seeking your home.
This means professional photos, video, brochures, making sure that we're targeting in-market buyers and we can find them on the internet and market them with your home. These things all matter because every single one of those eyeballs is a potential buyer, or they might know someone who's a potential buyer. So presenting your home in the best light and then making sure that we professionally introduce it to the market in a way that makes sense is of the utmost importance, and why our homes sell so quickly and for top dollar. And we can coach you on how to do that. Like Mike said, just type concierge if you have any questions on that. We really do want to walk you through each step of the process, so you're not doing too much and you're not doing too little, and you're definitely not leaving any money on the table. Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well. And as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore. So we've talked a little bit about sellers. What about buyers? We know what you like looking for. We know you want that after, but what if you're trying to get a deal?
Well, the good news is there are roughly 450 homes on market, and please don't buy into the old news that there's a bidding war on every single house, because that is not the case. But it is the case on some of those properties that are much more turnkey, like we just talked about, to our potential sellers.
So if you want to avoid a bidding war, or maybe you want to just extend your cash a little bit further or get a deal, some of the things you can do are look for those homes that need those cosmetic updates, that have not done all of the prep work for you, and go in there and just know, hey, I'm going to get some cash back that I can do my own updates with. I'm going to pick my own paint colors and my own carpet, and I'm going to do those updates as I'm moving into the home.
There's also a little bit of a sweet spot where it's those properties that have done just a little bit, or probably not enough, but just a little bit, where they're starting to sit maybe at that 35-day mark. Those are those properties where you can really ask for some cash back and get that full upgrade. So using all that cash to do the carpet or do the countertops, etc., so that you basically have one of those turnkey properties. They just didn't go and do it all for you up front.
And if you are targeting one of those properties and you're like, look, I love the location, I love the layout, I don't love the cosmetics, talk to us. We can do the same thing that we do for sellers on the buy side, where before you move in, we've lined up our contractors for you. They knock everything out and we get everything nice and pretty for you before you actually even move in.
If you want a list of those homes that are tending to sit on the market a bit in Westminster, or just Carroll County in general, type in Westminster in the comments and we'll be sure to send it out to you.
Investing in Carroll County is interesting because there is a lot more rural opportunity there, and there are less condos and townhomes than there are in other areas. However, the demand is high because of that, and there are certain neighborhoods that rent very easily and have specific types of renters that are always going to be renting. They tend to rent for longer terms with great prices, and you will get the top dollar of what's available, and you will definitely be having some cash flow right off the bat, even with rates higher. So if you can get into one of these properties, and again, they are few and far between, but if you wait for the right opportunity and get into one of them, Carroll County can be a gold mine for investors. Let's talk lifestyle. If you're coming from one of these surrounding counties and you're used to just dipping down to the city or over to Frederick or even DC, what does Westminster have for you? Well, the cool thing about Westminster is it is the heart of Carroll County. So it's its own little mini city. It has a main street. There are restaurants going in and opening up all of the time. Before, it used to just be the big box, chain restaurants, and trust me, they're all still there. But now there's a Sprouts, there's a Liquid Library, which is a little boutique restaurant. There's great places to go get a glass of wine or have a drink on Main Street. They have Main Street activities like the wine stroll and the oyster stroll, the Main Street parade, the electric light parade, tons of things to get involved with for you and your family. Just a lot of things coming to the area because of this new buyer demand and this influx of people from surrounding areas. So if you haven't had a chance to check out downtown Westminster, I highly recommend it. Even if you're not thinking about moving there, it's a fun place to go for an afternoon or a date night. Old Westminster Winery is nationally ranked as one of the best wineries, not just in Maryland, but in the nation. So go there, have a glass of wine, check it out. You might be surprised what this, seemingly country lifestyle could really afford you.
And I think the determining factor on the lifestyle aspect to determine if it's too country or not is, do they have a Target? And the answer is, in fact, yes, there is a Target.
With a Starbucks.
With a Starbucks inside. So
That's all that matters.
If they have that, it's not too country.
Such a good point. But really, back to the affordability, Westminster has so much to offer when it comes to that. If this is something that you would consider, talk to us. I think a lot of people are adding this to their search list. People who would not have considered it a couple of years ago.
And we don't just show homes. We will show you the restaurants. We can go to the restaurants and do some wine tasting, get a couple appetizers.
Mike, nobody wants to buy you a
all
burger.
All the things so that you know that it's not just about the homes, it's actually about the entire package. So where does Westminster go from here? Westminster has seen a 5.5% year-over-year growth, which is pretty substantial. With all the competition surrounding Westminster, either in Howard County, Baltimore County, and Frederick County, being so fierce, I can only imagine that number is going to increase.
Timing is crucial. Inventory is up. Rates are going down. This is a great time to strike and stay ahead of the curve of people who are moving to Carroll County in general, but especially back to the heart of where it began, Westminster.
Now for the question of the day. For those of you looking to move within the state of Maryland, you're already here, you want to move to a different part. What part do you want to move to? Do you want to move from the city, out of the city, from Baltimore County to Anne Arundel County, Annapolis to Frederick? Let me know in the comments. I'm extremely interested. Get an understanding of where people are moving within the state. Even better, give me a call, shoot me a text. All my information is right on the screen here. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Do you want a list of all of the properties that are not even on the market yet and get a sneak peek at what's coming? Message coming soon listings and we'll send you all of those as well. So we can either send you things that have been sitting for a while or things that have not even hit the market yet. So you are always informed what's going on in an area that could work really well for you.
So that is really the crux of why Westminster is turning into basically the new Ellicott City and why it might be an option for you. So be sure to hit that notification bell, subscribe below, and if there's anything we missed about Westminster that you're interested in, be sure to send us a message, give us a text or an email, and we'll be sure to reach out to you. And hey, we might even include it in our next video. That's Kelly, I'm Mike, see you next time.